I'm really enjoying what I've seen so far. I have to watch so much stuff for my job, episodes here and there, films along the way. And that's not me complaining, by the way, but you can often tell sometimes within like 2 minutes if something's going to be good. And with Dope Thief, that was definitely the case. It's in quite a kind of saturated market with so much kind of content available now to viewers. Why do you think Dope Thief stands out? What do you think makes this one worth seeing?
Of course, I'm dying to ask you what you found so unusual about Dope Thief. Could you share that with us?
Mhm.
You're a
Yeah,
smart guy. What was it? What
okay.
was it?
All right. Well, for starters, firstly, this is a kind of genre that I just love. So maybe that gives me a kind of sort of slight bias. But a lot of it, to be honest, is Brian. I thought when I first saw Brian on screen, I think he's got this magnetism and he brings so much humanity to his role. But it was more just sometimes you can just tell just by the way something's shot, just the first few lines of dialogue, you just get a sense of the kind of quality you're dealing with. And I think with this, honestly, within 2 or 3 minutes, I could just tell it was of that kind of higher level.
Yeah, I agree. I think I really love working with Apple because I believe that as a studio, they really value their creatives and they trust their creatives. They go for the highest quality of filmmakers, and just kind of sit back and let them do their thing. And um, I I really believe that they did that with the show as well. Like it with between Peter Craig, who is really the genius behind it, Ridley, and then Brian, plus all the rest of the cast who are so amazing. I believe that it brings that like high quality of TV that you can expect from an Apple TV Plus show, with the gripping cliffhangery feeling of addiction feeling of like a really really good TV show. It just blends both very well. The writing is just chef's kiss.
Of course, it begins and ends with the writer. And he's tapping in, Peter Craig, he's tapping into what you want most. And what is it you want most as a viewer? You want to be, you want the tension at all times. You want the stakes to be almost unbearably high. Because after all, we live and we die, right? So you're saying within the first 3 or 4 lines, you understood that this was exceptional. Well, you can put that down to Peter Craig and, of course, the production values of Apple.
I just spoke to Peter. He's a fascinating guy. He's got an
Yes.
incredible array of credits to his name. And he was speaking quite interesting. I was asking him about kind of if he has to kind of plan long term. When you make a TV series, sometimes things are 4 seasons, they're 5 seasons, and you see through lines between each seasons and things that come to fruition quite further down the line. And he said he's already got some kind of ideas in his head. So when as actors, when you sign up to a TV show like this, do you have to think about things with that kind of long term perspective as something you could feasibly be involved with for quite some time? Or do you almost have to just treat everything kind of season upon season and not look at things too broadly, I suppose?
Oh, absolutely. It's always a commitment. You have to want to live with this person for years and years and years. And then at the same time, you can't get too attached because you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes you even, you do a pilot and then the pilot doesn't even get picked up. So you get to play them for like 8 days. But in this case, there's so much complexity to the characters and to the story, and so it was the easiest yes ever. It just felt like I could play her for years and years. How about you?
Well, when you're doing the deal, you have to accept the parameters of the deal that you're willing to undergo. But after that's over, and that happens very fast, I personally take a deep dive. And I want to go all the way with Teresa Bowers and possibly even into the nooks and crannies that are not on the page. But I'm assisted by a great writer in Peter Craig and an unbelievable partner in Brian Tyree Henry. It does not get better than that. And under the aegis of Apple, I think it's just a pretty unparalleled experience.
Yeah, just very quickly before I go, because I just wanted to just quickly touch upon because you do share a lot of scenes with Brian. I've interviewed him once and I walked into the room and he just has this kind of warmth about him, but he's such a bit also kind of complexity, which always comes through in his characters. What's he like as a kind of screen partner? Does he help raise the game with everyone around him when you're sharing scenes when he brings that much to a character?
You better be on your game when you're working with Brian, or you're going to be left behind. I mean, it's that simple. He will leave you behind. He's at the top of his game right now. I suspect that's true of every part he plays. But in this part particularly, I felt that he was magnificent. And I wanted to get to work because I wanted the challenge of putting myself against that. And it was really great tennis all the way through.
Yes. And he's exactly how you would hope he would be. Like, he creates an environment in which you feel safe to be vulnerable, and you want to wear your heart on your sleeve and be right there with him. And he does really raise the tide with everyone that he works with.
Yeah.
When I interviewed him, he also said he liked my trainers, so he always got a big thumbs up from me as well from there. Thank you so much, guys. Best of luck with the release of the show, and hopefully we'll catch up again.
Thank you.
very much.
Thanks, Stefan.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey!